Hi, everybody. My name's Dianne DeNecochea. This is a Proactive Volley YouTube channel, and I'm so excited you're here. Today, I'm going to talk about how the college volleyball recruiting process works. It is different than other sports a little bit, and there is a flow to it that I want to explain to you. So I'm going to go right ahead and jump in. I'm going to share my screen. I've created a flow chart that really describes the recruiting process pretty simply and tries, is a little bit helpful in just seeing it visually. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So with this flow chart, which I love, just to see it all visually. First, I want to talk about how, as far as the recruiting process, how it works, what the goal is, which some people, um, we kind of lose sight of. Well, what are we trying to do, right? The dream, your child's dream or your dream, if you're the player, is to play volleyball in college, right? And what does that mean? Well, in the recruiting process, you're trying to reach the point of verbal commitment. Okay, so you want to get as many offers for a verbal commitment to play college volleyball as possible, right? So that doesn't matter if we're talking D1, D2, D3, NAIA. Your goal is to start the process and then move through the flow of the process and working towards getting multiple verbal commitment offers. Offers to for a roster spot on a team. It's not always a full scholarship, right? We understand that. Just a roster spot on a team and to play college volleyball. So that's a very rough way to describe it. But the way we start the process here at the top is you're going to create your college target list. So where do you want to play volleyball in college? What schools are you targeting? Okay, so any schools on this list, you're working towards having them be your level of play. Okay, so that's the biggest challenge when you're starting out is trying to figure that out. But you've got to start somewhere. So I like freshmen, sophomores to start with 60 schools, working your way into your junior year. You might have 20 towards the end of your process. Okay, so we've got your college target list where you want to play volleyball. Then you're also going to create a highlight video. This you're going to do throughout your entire recruiting process, not just once. Okay, multiple videos throughout your entire process of specific tournaments. You're not bulking them all into one large video. You're going to have lots of videos throughout your entire process. Then you're going to send an intro email. Okay, and this is when you're first starting out. So you could be a freshman. Fall of your freshman year is a great time to get started. That gives you more time and less stress, and you can be a little bit more familiar of what you want and what you're looking for by the time you get into June 15th after your sophomore year and into your junior year. If you start as a freshman, if you're past your freshman year and you haven't started yet, just get started, right? So you'll send an intro email, and in this, on my YouTube channel, I will be going through a lot of these things in more detail, but this is my second video and I wanted to really just describe how the process works. So I'm going to kind of flow through this. In the intro email and all your check-in emails, you're always going to ask, do you need my position in your class? I would love to know if you need a 2028 setter. I would love to know if you need a 2029 middle, whatever that is. As you go through your process, you're always trying to figure it out, because if they're not recruiting your position in your grad class, then it's a little bit just doesn't make sense, right? That school would come off your list. Sometimes coaches don't know, so you're just keep going. They might not know, and especially freshmen, sophomores, before you can really talk back and forth, especially with D1s, then you're not going to know quite yet, but you can still consistently ask. That's okay. So we've got your three things: the target list, highlight video, your intro email. So you're moving forward in your process, okay? And this is for Division III, when college coaches can answer you, and Division II, they can answer you, but they didn't really this year very much, I noticed. So D1s in particular, after June 15th of your sophomore year, they can respond. So that's the rest of this flow chart. Okay. So before June 15th, you're going to be, and you're emailing this, doing this, it will be the no response column, basically, or you just won't find out. You'll get canned responses, auto responses, but you won't get specific answers necessarily. So let's just say that this is when college coaches can answer you. Okay, that's the rest of this process in this flow chart. So when college coaches can answer you, there's 3 options. There's no. Okay, so that means you move them off your top target list. I like to have a secondary tab in the Google Sheet to keep track of everyone that you have reached out to. Okay, you don't just want to delete that school. You want to keep track of all of your notes and who you've reached out to. Okay, the other column here all the way over to the right is no response. So you're emailing coaches. You feel like you're emailing out into the universe with no answer, right? So the no response column is actually very normal, right? And when I made this flow chart, I had, players responding sooner. So 1 week later is a little much. So I'll just say, once a month is not enough, and once every week is too much. So when you hear no response from a college coach, going, asking, or what am I trying to say? When you're emailing them and you're continuing to email and you're getting no responses, then every 2 to 3 weeks is good. Okay, so during this fall, this time is more like 3 weeks. But once we get into club season, then it's before and after tournaments, and it turns into every week or every 2 weeks just by the flow of club season. But in general, I like every 3 weeks or so. And I mean, sometimes it is 4 weeks, right? But I don't like a rule of thumb for the entire process once a month. I don't think that's enough. Okay. And then I have here, after 5 times reaching out with no response, now I think that's longer, because I like players to start earlier. So you're going to be emailing them a lot you could be emailing with no response for a year. So it's going to be more than 5 times. Okay. So there is a point. So this is after college coaches can respond. And they haven't responded, let's say 8 or 10 emails, then I would say they might not respond. You could move them off your list to your secondary tab. And then if they all of a sudden respond, you've got that data. Okay. Maybe they were, more interested in 1 or 2 other players in your position, and those players fell through, and then they come back to you. So that's, you want to save that data. Okay. And then the yes column is the flow of the process as it works. So if a college coach responds and says, yes, we do need a 2028 libero, we're interested in watching you play. Okay, so you're always asking coaches, if they need your position in your class, I would love for you to watch my team and I play. And just, trying to engage, right? Asking them to watch you play. Where are you playing? I'm playing this weekend at this tournament, whatever you're doing. Okay, so you're always trying to move that forward. When they respond yes, you need to respond right away. Okay, so you need to respond mirroring back what they said. I'm so excited you'll be able to watch my team and I play. We're really looking forward to playing. We're working on our team defense. I'm really working on serving areas really precisely. I mean, anything that you can say that you're excited about, and things that you're, excited about with your team, and just responding to what they've said to you. Okay, then as you go through the process, you're always moving towards the next step in this yes column, this yes flow. So it's setting up a call with a coach. Okay, so that's the next step. And this is, again, assuming it's after June 15th, or you're talking to Division III coaches that can respond and that you can have back and forth with. Okay, you would be working to set up a call. Then you're always asking them to watch you play. So they watch you play they watch you play live at big tournaments. Usually, sometimes they'll go to regional tournaments. And then they're consistently and constantly assessing all the players, right? And then you're consistently asking for another phone call with another coach. Then eventually you want to take a visit on campus, right? So you can ask for not an official visit, but an unofficial visit, or just have it be very generic to just be asking for a visit. Okay. And then that would be the last step before an offer for verbal commitment. So you have good back and forth. Okay. So good back and forth, good phone call, situation going on. You're working to get on campus. Okay. You wouldn't want to choose a school or, the coaches won't offer players that they haven't met on campus normally, because they want to be sure that they like the player in person and it's been, a visit can be up to 48 hours. So we're talking about, some time to spend with the player. So all of that's super important in order to be getting an offer, which could also happen after camps. Okay. So that isn't guaranteed by any means, but it is something that does happen. If I move back up a little bit here, sometimes you'll find out their timing, right? Their interest level in this section here. They're constantly assessing you, continuing to find out what the offer is, what is their timing, what is their interest level in you. This is towards the end of your process, okay? Then you find out they're waiting on another offer, on another player, and maybe you are 2 to 5 on their list, okay? And they're waiting. They've offered their number 1, and they're waiting to get an answer from that player. So then they decide to take that other player, and then you move that school to your secondary list, okay? The other thing that happens a lot during this time of assessment is they watch you play live over and over and over. And eventually, then you're consistently asking for phone calls, moving forward, then you go on a visit. So there can be it's not just watch you play live, phone call, visit, offer. There's lots of stuff that happens in the middle there. So I'm just trying to show you with this flow some other things that can happen. They can go radio silent, which is super annoying. But when that happens, then you just consistently, go to your club coach, go to your recruiting coordinator, ask them to reach out to schools that you felt like, maybe you had phone calls, maybe you even went on a visit and they went quiet. So you can use other resources, also consistently just emailing them, asking for, an update on their recruiting situation. So you want to keep that ball rolling as much as possible. But again, the goal is the offer for verbal commitment at the end and multiple offers. So that's how the recruiting process works in a very pretty simplified flowchart. Okay, I hope that helps you a lot. And I'm going to stop my share really quick. So thanks so much for watching this video, and please let me know if you have any questions or comments below. Please subscribe. I'm going to continue these videos every week. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.